My name is Jeff Gibby, and I am Business Development Manager here at MetaStock. One of my responsibilities is to evaluate products and determine the products that we should bring to market as third-party products for MetaStock. The Cycle Trends Plus program is actually a collaborative effort between a South African company and MetaStock. And what it does is it uses cycle trend analysis. Cycle trend analysis has been in use since the 1800s. The Rothschilds bankers were using it for a number of years. And this particular analysis and the methods and the techniques that I'm going to show you today have actually been used for 20 years now by customers that are in the UK, Australia, as well as South Africa. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Let me show it to you. Okay, everybody. Thanks for watching the Cycle Trends Plus demo. This is a very unique product. I'm going to kind of walk you through what's included with it, the unique indicators that are in there, and how you would go about using these methodologies within the MetaStock platform. So let's go ahead and get started and get underway. I want to talk to you a little bit first about kind of the creator of this this particular product. Issy Bacher is from South Africa. He's been in the markets for a number of years. His cycle trend system has been in use by traders around the world for 20 or 30 years. Dr. Bacher was really, really good at teaching students how to use the technical analysis and his cycle approach, and does that for a living in South Africa. His favorite call is when he called the rise of the gold markets from $460 in 2005 to over $1,000, and a very good radio personality, somebody that's been in the markets and really knows what they're doing. And that's really part of the reason that we decided to bring this on as a product for MetaStock. First, I want to kind of talk to you a little bit about what's included in the Cycle Trends Plus system. And then about halfway through the demo, I'm going to go and actually show you how you implement those analysis inside of MetaStock to kind of get an idea of what stocks you should be trading and that kind of stuff. In terms of the systems that are included in Cycle Trends Plus, there's actually 5 of them. And when I say systems, we've actually created templates, explorations, and expert advisors. And I love in MetaStock how we have the ability to go in and say, okay, well, here's what's happening on the chart, and here's what you need to look at, and here's what this is actually saying to you. We've put together a very, very comprehensive commentary system that I'm going to show you that'll actually kind of help you understand this on the fly. And of course, with MetaStock, you do have the ability to scan and find setups on a daily basis and even an intraday basis. So we've created those full market scans so you can go through and identify, out of the U.S. optionable or out of the FTSE or whatever markets you might be interested in, just those stocks that currently have an opportunity available to you. In addition to that, there's some very, very unique indicators in the Cycle Trends Plus program. And since they're a little bit unique, I want to kind of go through them before we get into the software, explain to you exactly what they're doing and how to read them and how to understand exactly how you would implement them in your own analysis using Cycle Trends Plus. So the first thing, when you apply the templates, and I'll show you how to do that in the demo section of this particular thing, you're going to notice that you're going to have a price line and a Fourier trend line. Now the price line displayed by default is a line chart, meaning you just have a line connecting the closes, which kind of simplifies the view quite a bit. Don't worry if you're a fan of candlesticks or bar charts or candle volume or echo volume, you can easily change that to kind of match what your preferences are. The first indicator that we want to talk about is actually called the Fourier trend line, and it's illustrated in red right here. Basically, this is the measurement of the current trend of the chart using a Fourier transform technique. And what you'll notice, as with most markets, as things get well pushed below the trend, they have a tendency to reverse or to go back to the mean. And you'll notice that both on the bottom and the top, the more extended we get above this price line, the more likely it is that we're going to come back and pull back into the trend. So you can use that to analyze and kind of determine shorter term movements in the stock and kind of maybe timing base movements. Maybe if it's pulling away from the trend line and you anticipate that it's going to come back to that, that might be an indication to go long or to buy. The second indicator I want to talk about is called the cycle trend indicator, and it uses some pretty complex mathematics. What it's designed to do is it's designed to show you the historical trend, the current trend, and even the future trend. So right here, you'll see that there's a vertical line on the chart. That vertical line is designed to show you where you are in the current time. So this is where the trend is right now. Everything behind that line is the way your trend has appeared in the past. Right now, the current trend would be right here. And then the cycle trig indicator will display, by default, 30 days into the future, the anticipated trend. Now, you can go in and change this. You can actually have it display up to 80 bars into the future, or as little as 0 bars into the future, depending on how you want to look at that particular indicator. Now, the way that you would use this in your analysis is actually pretty simple. If you see a big pullback in trend, well, that's a bearish signal. If you see a big positive divergence, and you're going to see, then that's going to be bullish, and that's the way you would use it. The next indicator that I'm going to talk about is called the trendic indicator. And the trendic indicator is designed to display your current trend. Right? Anything underneath the 0 line, here we've got a 0 line on the chart, would be considered a bearish trend. Whereas if it's above bullish, or it's above the 0 line, you're going to be considering yourself in a bullish trend. There's 3 or 4 different speeds that are actually shown in here. And a signal that you could use for this, that a lot of the cycle trends users like to look for, is they look for a cross between a bearish and a bullish trend. So right here, where you see the intersection of the 2 lines, this would be a bearish to bullish cross. And you could use this as a buy signal, but you should confirm this with at least 1 or 2 of the other indicators included within the package. And again, this slide just reiterates right here, above 0, you're going to be in what Issy calls a positive zone or a bullish trend. And down here, you're going to be in a negative zone or a negative trend. The next indicator I want to talk about is called the true OBOS indicator. And OBOS stands for overbought, oversold. And this actually measures the distance between the trend and the Fourier transform, or I should say the price in the Fourier transform. When we get up here in the upper levels, you're going to be considered more and more overbought, while as you get down here below towards the more greener, safer levels, you're going to be more oversold. A classical signal for this particular indicator is when you get to this second green line, it's going to be very, very dramatically oversold. And that is a condition that you can scan for within MetaStock. And the same is true with the second red line, or the bright red line. And what that is telling you is that the stock is incredibly overbought, and that's a good indication to sell. Now, it is important to note that none of these indicators are designed to be used independently. These signals should be confirmed by other indicators and other systems. And that's where kind of these systems come into play. Those help you identify the total overall picture for a certain security or a certain instrument. In here, there's about 5 different templates. We're going to focus a little bit on the Maximus one in the live demo. But the templates really are different combinations of the different indicators and the way that they can be used together. Each of them have their own unique expert advisor that gives you a summary, as you can see over here on the left-hand side. And each of them will have a different combination of indicators as you go through them. So this one is called the Classic. There's an overbought, oversold template, as well as the Trendix template, which uses a bunch of the Trendix indicators to give you a real overbought, oversold reading. There's also one that uses just Trendix. And so those are a total selection of all of the systems that are included. In the next part of the demo, I'm going to go really show you hands-on how to use this and how to incorporate this in your MetaStock analysis. So I'm going to go ahead and switch into MetaStock now, and we're going to go ahead and kind of show you some hands-on usage using some of the systems that are included. Okay, so now we're in the MetaStock program. I want to show you kind of how you would go through to find different setups using Cyclotrends Plus, using the MetaStock power tools, and how those kind of all incorporate to give you a view of the stock using all of the indicators. So with MetaStock, of course, I've opened up our power console, and we're going to run a market scan. So we call it an Explorer here at MetaStock. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on the Explorer window here. And all of the CTP or all the cycle trends plus exploration start with CTP, so cycle trends plus. So that's how you'll be able to find all of the different tools that are available in your scanning techniques. Okay. Now what I want to do is actually want to run an exploration to find stocks that meet the CTP maximus screen. So basically this is going to scan for securities looking for those that currently show a confirmed positive or negative trend. So I just select the scan that I want right here. We have a little bit of a description of that trend, or that exploration, I should say. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on Next. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to run a scan against the S&P 500. Now, you can scan literally any market that you want. And if you're a CFD trader, you can trade in, basically scan any CFDs. This will work well with futures and Forex as well. But what I'm going to do right now is we'll go ahead and find the list that I want to scan, and that's the S&P 500. Just going to go ahead and click on Next. I'm going to say I want to do a daily scan, and we'll just start the exploration. So now MetaStock is going to go ahead and chunk through the data for us, and it's going to find all of those stocks that meet a confirmed positive or negative trend. And it's going to make a list of us. And you'll notice it's right now rejecting about 100% of the securities. That number will change. We're going to have about 3 that come out of this particular expiration. So already we're kind of narrowing down those stocks that we have to look at to just the ones that have a good opportunity for today. And through the magic of technology, we'll be done in just a second. Okay, now we're done. So let's go ahead and look at the reports. This functions just like any other Explorer. What we're going to see is in this particular case, a -1 means we're in a negative cycle. A -1 means we're currently getting a buy signal from true overbought, oversold. And then we have the different trend measurements, the 36, the 55, and the 21, which are also all giving a -1. And now what we can focus on, based on the CTP maximus exploration, is those stocks that actually fit the criteria. And this is actually how I got the stocks available today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Cap 1 Financial, and I'm going to show you how to open up the chart so you can see exactly the same view that I've already got displayed here. So I'll go ahead and click on Open the Chart here. By default, my normal template is going to be displayed. And what I want to do is I'll just right-click on the chart. I'm going to go to Apply Template. And again, what we're going to do is we're going to go down to CTP, and we're going to find that. In this case, we did the Maximus scan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the template CTP Maximus.mwt and apply that to the chart. Okay. Also go down here. I'm going to attach the CTP Maximus Expert Advisor. I'll go ahead and click on Close. That's also going to draw a couple of the additional buy and sell markers on the or the buy and sell opportunities on the chart for us, as you see right here. Okay. I'm not sure. This vertical line is not part of the template. And we'll just kind of go through the indicators and kind of revisit it one at a time. Actually, no, that is part of the chart. We'll just go through the indicators real quick and kind of just talk to you a little bit about how they're using. So the cycle trig indicator is the one over here. This is the one that displays the future price trend, and we anticipate a little bit of a drop, as well as a kind of a bottoming of the trend as we get about 30 days into the future. Now, I did say during the recorded demo where we talked about this indicator that you do have the ability to display this further into the future, or or not as far into the future. And if you want to make those changes, all you need to do is just right-click on the cycle trig, go to Properties, and just change this period value here. So you can actually change that to 80. And if we do that, it'll then display that trend calculation 80 bars into the future. So you can kind of see a little bit further into the future. I'm going to go ahead and reset that back to the default of 30 days. In this case, days. If you're using this intradays, 30 means periods. Okay. Next, we've got the cycle trends overbought, oversold, and we are currently overbought. So that would be giving us a negative reading as well. Below, we've got a copy of the 3 different trendic indicators, and all of those are dipping down. Recently, all but one of them gave us a bearish signal on those as well. Our longer-term trendic 21 is actually still in the overbought area, but it's headed down as well. And we'll also notice that the difference between our Fourier transform and the price, we're a little bit oversold in there as well. Now, in this actual expert advisor, because we want to kind of make things as easy as possible for you to understand, we have put together commentary that I can load onto the chart. And what is that it's going to specifically do for you is it's going to tell you exactly what the system is using. So it's using 3 cycle indicators to analyze the performance of Cap 1 Finance. The indicators that it uses, it lists out. It also goes through the indicators and kind of tells you a little bit about what each one of them does and how you use each one of them. So you don't have to necessarily watch this demo every time. Here we've got kind of it also tells you what we're currently showing. In this case, we're showing a future downwards trend. We're not getting a terribly overbought or an oversold signal on a true OBS, although we are currently in the overbought area. And the Trendix, all but one of them, like we were saying before, is giving a negative trend. And within the last couple of days, that went from positive to negative, giving you a signal as well. It gives you a little bit of a summary that tells you what to look like. And this will be unique to each system. So in other words, if you're using one of the other 4 or 5 systems that are included in here, it's going to be very, very specific to that particular market that you're looking at. Again, here's a list of the 5 different Cycle Trends Plus systems that are included in the program. And again, those all have the scans that we showed you. They have the templates. They have the expert advisor commentary, as well as the buy and sell indicators, as well as scans, so that you can go through and narrow down your search list to just those things that you're very, very interested in. The main indicators that are included, again, are listed here on the screen. This is a fantastic product. The Cycle Trends Plus retails as a one-time cost of $4.99. As always, we do want this to be something that's useful for you. If it's not useful for you, we don't want you to keep it. We do offer you a 30-day money-back guarantee. I recommend that you try this product. And most of all, I'd like to appreciate your time for watching the video on the Cycle Trends Plus. If you have any questions, feel free to give us an email. You can reach us through our website at metastock.com. And they'll be able to answer any questions you've got about the Cycle Trends Plus system. Thanks for watching.